Hi everyone, and welcome back to the San Francisco Wine Trading Company. I'm Jason, and today we are talking about bottled in bond whiskey. Now, what is bottled in bond whiskey, and why is it important in American history? Well, first of all, we have to take a trip back to the late 1800s. We're talking about distilleries, and we're talking about whiskey rectifiers who actually don't own any distilleries, but they buy distillates and bottle it themselves and sell it themselves. Now, back then, some shady characters have popped up, buying their distillates from distilleries, but also diluting what they bought or adding other things that is not so savory, think tobacco spit, into their bottled whiskeys and selling it to make a profit. Now, in the late 1800s, well, 1897 to be exact, E.H. Taylor, who distills his own whiskeys, and some other fellows joined up with the United States government to pass the Bottled in Bond Act. Now, this act produced two things, all right? First, on the whiskey side, it produced better quality. So it could ensure that you are getting a quality product. And on the government side, the government now has easier access to take your taxes of the whiskeys itself. So they don't have to hunt down these rectifiers and correct their books or anything else like that. All right? Now, in order for a bottled in bond to be labeled on your bottle, switch it around, all right? A few things have to happen. The whiskey itself has to be aged in a federally bonded warehouse for at least 4 years in barrel. All right? It has to be coming from one distillery, coming from one distillery season or distillate season, whether it be winter or summer, right? And it has to be bottled at 100 proof. And those are the requirements for the bottled in bond. So what does this mean for you as a consumer? Well, know that when you pick up a bottle that says bottled in bond, know you are picking up quality. Right? You are getting a higher proof at 100, so you're getting a lot more flavors than the typical 80 proof that you find else on the shelf. And know that in order to be called bottled in bond, it is aged at least 4 years, even though it is not age statement. Well, some of them. Know that you have some age to it. And one other thing when you pick up a bottle of bottled in bond whiskey is that on the bottle itself, it'll actually categorize the warehouse that it aged in. Right? Let's say here, this is the 80 Laws 4-grain bourbon bottled in bond, and on the tag here it says DSP CO 15024. Right? And jumping to Tennessee whiskey here, George Dickel bottled in bond. This one is DSP TN2. So know that you get some information as well with these guys. So as you're exploring bottled in bond whiskeys for yourself, you might have picked up a, let's say here, mellow corn bottled in bond, and it's aged in the warehouse DSP KY1. But you might have also picked up a bottle of Rittenhouse rye bottled in bond, which is also aged at warehouse DSP KY1. Fun bottled in bond fact is that Heaven Hills Distillery, which distilled this 7-year-old namesake here, is the biggest American producer of bottled in bond whiskeys right now here in today. All right, and they do a really good job. High quality items. Most are relatively affordable, say this Evan Williams bottled in bond bourbon, and also the Rittenhouse rye, which should be a staple in anyone's bar for the price point, but also the flavors. And of course, the price being affordable, it won't hurt that much when you make cocktails. Now, of course, they do very high quality ones as well, with still relatively affordable, right? Say the Heaven Hills 7-year-old, and also the Henry McKenna 10-year-old bottled in bond single barrel bourbon. So again, keep that in mind. All right, and does it have to be only bourbon? No, it could be rye. Here is Rittenhouse. There's Old Overhold, both bottled in bond. And of course, we also have a corn whiskey that is also bottled in bond, which categorizes and falls into the Bottled in Bond Act rules and laws. And now for your own exploration of bottled and bond whiskeys, we have these features here that you can all find in the links below, or find them at www.sfwtc.com. Now, I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned a little bit about what bottled and bond whiskeys are. So please hit that like button, and of course, don't forget to subscribe for future content. I'll see you next time. Cheers.